Devin from Garden City, New York. Now, I wanted to include this question, and actually there were two other people who asked me about this, but I'll go with Devin's question. This was also a very big story this week, and it concerns the writers' strike. And Devin wants to know, with the Writers Guild now officially on strike, what effect, if any, will this have on WWE and AEW? In short, the answer is no. It will not have an effect. For those who haven't been following what's been going on, talks of a new contract broke down on Monday night between the Writers Guild labor union and the AMPTP, which is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. It's a group that basically it represents all the major studios: NBC Universal, Warner Brothers Discovery, Apple, Disney, Amazon, Netflix, a few others I can't think of. Whenever there are any collective bargaining talks with the unions, as a result of those talks breaking down, the writers are now on strike. And the longer this goes on for, you may start to see the effects when some of your favorite TV shows see their new seasons get delayed. If it goes that long, it could happen. If this only lasts a matter of days or a couple of weeks, I don't think you and I are going to really see any effect as far as that goes. But the longer this drags out for, you're going to start to see things get canceled and delayed, and it sucks. It's already impacting production on some shows like Stranger Things and Yellow Jackets, which I know that because those are two shows that I watch. So I've been keeping track of all the different updates, and I saw those two shows mentioned, and I said, fuck. But, all the late night talk shows, they're in reruns right now. The final episodes of SNL this season, they're not going to air at all. So it's affecting a lot of different things. The last Hollywood strike was 15 years ago. That lasted a total of 4 months. The writers are making less money the more that streaming has exploded, which is one of their main bones of contention. The use of AI, artificial intelligence, that's another sticking point. So think ChatGPT, right? This is the future here. The writers are very worried about that undermining what they do and basically making them replaceable. There was a story just the other day that all of the major studios and all the major streamers are planning to use AI to generate scripts based on books. And then when the strike is over, they'll hire the writers to rewrite and basically kind of tweak and proofread the scripts. Like, touch them up. You can see why the writers would be worried about this. Soon technology is going to make all of us obsolete. The union does not want AI used to create any kind of written material whatsoever, whether it's scripts or anything else. As far as wrestling is concerned, yes, WWE has writers. WWE and AEW, though, are both non-union productions. So they are not affected by what is going on. AEW doesn't even have writers. They have Tony Khan, and they have a few people that he leans on for some creative support. That's it. They don't have writers. But this could end up being a good thing for wrestling. The longer this drags on for, because if Warner Brothers Discovery, let's say, or NBC Universal, if they need new programming, if they need new unscripted programming to plug into their schedules, WWE and AEW could be very valuable to them. They could end up being the beneficiary in all this. 52 weeks a year, you get fresh programming, right? 5 hours from AEW alone. WWE has even more. And they're not going to stop. That machine just keeps going. So the longer this goes on for, all of a sudden, wrestling looks a lot more attractive. We can just plug in wrestling. Remember what happened when COVID, when the whole pandemic started? There was a period there where ESPN, they needed programming. There were no games. So what did they do? They were airing old WrestleManias on ESPN. That's the value that wrestling brings. So, if nothing else, it illustrates to their TV partners in a year where both companies are looking to negotiate new TV rights deals, just how important they can be when something like this happens. So no immediate effect on wrestling, but in the end, it could have a very positive effect on those two companies. And Rabat from Derby, England. Whenever Triple H gets his solo Hall of Fame induction, who should be the one to induct him? He says, my suggestion is Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Terry Taylor, The Rock, or Stephanie McMahon. Well, you left out one name. I'm surprised you left out this name because I think this name would be a possibility. I agree that I think Shawn Michaels or Stephanie would probably, most likely it would be one of those two. But William Regal would be another fine choice. You know, you mentioned Terry Taylor, and that's because Terry Taylor and Triple H have been friends for decades. And I think he kind of helped out Triple H early in his career. Well, William Regal did the same. Their friendship goes back to the mid-90s when they were in WCW together. And Triple H is the one who brought Regal back to the company as a vice president. So I think William Regal would be a fine choice also. But who do I think it'll end up being when that day comes? It'll be Shawn Michaels or it'll be Stephanie.